Yeah, so why are these called London roofs? So instead of a roof being up like that and that, these roofs are inverted. It enables the front of the building to keep a clean, long facade, and you don't see the up and over side of it. So these are inverted or London roofs. It also means that the drainage comes out down the rear, so there's no rainwater pipes at the front of the house. It's a simple and cost-effective solution, especially in Victorian times when this house was built. As you can see, we've stripped up the old roof. We're about to lay these new slates on the roof, and I'll make a separate video about that when I can. That's all for now. Bye. Hello, so this is kind of the end of my day. I'm having a bit of an early day. So I've started the slating on this roof. You can see I've done that sort of quadrant, if you like. Much more to do. There's a lead central gutter there. Anyway, so that's kind of where I'm at today. So this is the roof I'm working on. You can see we've got part of it slated. Just want you to observe here, that's a school building there. Now that roof there, to the uninitiated, you know, it probably looks pretty average, but that's a very nice roof. It's really hard to tell how old it is. The slates themselves are Welsh slates. So that's a natural slate. Now, the only thing that I can say that dates this is that vent that runs across the ridge there. That's relatively new, but looking at the slate work, it's hard to tell whether it's 20 years old or 70 years old. Very difficult to tell. If I turn around, that school, very traditional, I don't know, about 1860, 1870, 1880 maybe, Victorian school. It's had this addition put on it. But if we look at the roof there, again, it's got those Welsh slates. You would expect to get 70 to 80 years out of a roof made of those natural slates, if the work has been carried out right. So what we have here are synthetic man-made slates. They're fibre cement slates. Let me just grab one here. Excuse the mess. So yeah, so those are packs of them there. They're a decent thing. They're a very good product. If you look here, there's a little copper rivet at the bottom of each one. So a slate like this costs about £2 each, whereas the slates on that school roof there, those are Welsh natural slates. They're £10-12 each. So it's a lot dearer when you think of that roof there. I don't know, maybe it's 1,000 on that roof, both sides, possibly 1,200. So there is a significant cost increase if you're going for natural slate. Plus the way that you work them is slightly different. So I'm here as a subcontractor. I'm working for a main contractor on this, and this is the option they've gone for. These are a decent slate. They're made by a company called Eternit, a British company, and they come with a 25-year guarantee from the company, but you know you're going to get possibly 30 years out of one of these roof coverings. So that's pretty reasonable, and they're cost effective. So when we stripped up the roof, which had the old Welsh slates, so they're past their sell-by date, frankly. So we have to line the roof then with this stuff. This is a breathable membrane. So It's waterproof but breathable. So if you think of your waterproof coats like the Gore-Tex material or something, that's what that is. It's breathable. And then these battens that they go onto, these are 2 inch by 1 inch battens, or 50 by 25 millimeter battens, and they're treated so they won't go rotten. And in the central gutter, this is just a brief overview for now, but I'll go through in more detail later if you wish for me. We have lead. This is what we call, in Britain anyway, code 5 lead, which used to be called £5 lead. I'll explain more about that later. I'm just in this little corner. I'm going to be slating up that wall today. All lead has to be covered with this, which is a patination oil. It ensures that the lead achieves its patination evenly, and we don't get those white streaks that lead can have. So these things here are soakers. My first one will be going there, and then over the top of that will be a flashing. So this is a brief overview, but I'll show you more about how that gets done when my labourer comes back. He's going to get his sandwich, and he can hold the camera and I can get working. So I'll show you more about that in a bit. But it's a pretty average roof, and being that it's an inverted roof, i.e. is sort of, we have a V rather than an up and over roof, you know. So it's fairly well protected from extreme storms and stuff like that. And yeah, I would expect this roof to last at least 30 years. Well, it's raining again. The weather's been all over the place this week. We've got most of the job slated. This area has not been. Just want to get a tarpaulin over it temporarily. My labourer is sheeting up and making sure we're watertight. About half an hour ago, it was blazing sunshine. We could have got a suntan. And then we've had hailstones, and now it's just pouring down with rain. So yeah, it's one of those days when you can have all 4 seasons in one day. Hi, good morning. Beautiful sunny day. So this is the roof. It's all but finished. We've got to clean up through the central valley. The central valley through there, which is lead. So we've just come this morning to clean up and take our tools away. You see we've put lead flashings all the way around at the tops. But essentially that's the roof done. The roof hatch, by the way, that's got to be recovered. Currently it's a zinc on timber roof hatch. Now I've put all new lead work around the opening on the slate work, so that's completely waterproof and fine, but a new covering for the actual lid itself has yet to be done, and I'm only a subcontractor here, and the main contractor is going to get someone else to do that, which I'm very grateful for. But yeah, the lead work and the slating is all done, and that's my part in all of this to complete. Yeah, so I did shoot some video of me laying the slates, but I'm afraid I messed it up. So I haven't got any of that to show you, or of any of me doing the lead work. That's a shadow of me. I'm standing on a scaffold. Yeah, but essentially that's it. It's a relatively simple process, mind you. I've seen many people mess these things up. some people out there really done some bad slate work and some bad lead work. But this is what it kind of ought to look like by the book. So anyway, that's all from me. Next time I take on a project, I'll do a proper video about it if you're interested. Anyway, thank you. Bye.